Okay, if I can get your attention, please. If I get your attention, we'll get started. Okay, welcome back to Sociology 150A. It's the second day of the class. Glad to see you all back. You are the people who decided to continue taking this class, and as promised, you all look way better. You look wealthier. I think we all look pretty good. This is good. So if you're attending the class, this is good. You need to attend the class to get into the class. I would love to teach you all, but I can't because of rules. I have to drop people for non-attendance, and we're going to drop people who've missed 2 classes or more. No, 2 classes. People who missed both the first 2 classes, we'll drop them, and we'll add the people who made it to both the first 2 classes. So consistent with that, basically, if this applies to people who aren't here. So the people who aren't here, listen to what I'm saying. They're being dropped right now. So I know it's a ridiculous paradox. So, but if you're here, this is good for you to know because you're here, you're doing the right thing. It's good to see you. Nobody understands you the way we do. Regarding the attendance, Nora, you are running the attendance. Nora Broge is our head reader. She's in charge of attendance. She's getting a cough drop. Do you need a microphone?
Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to pass it out the sheet. It has Tuesday's attendance. If you were not here on Tuesday, and it indicates if you were here on Tuesday and it indicates that you were not, you make a note of it. If you were here on Tuesday and you wrote your name at the bottom, I tried my best to read your handwriting and include you. If your name still is not on the list, fill it in. The waiting list is at the back. And the concurrent enrollment students are part of the regular attendance, but you're not in alphabetical order, so flip to the end.
Is that the same for the wait list? You already said that.
All the non-alphabetical orders in the order that you're on the waiting list, but just like the other day.
Okay, so now we'll get these attendance sheets circulated. You can check them out. A couple things, couple more organizational things. The syllabus. The syllabus will be in flux throughout the semester. We're going to add a couple readings to the syllabus, so keep tabs on it. The paper one that was distributed to you on Tuesday, you can probably throw that out in a couple days. So just keep looking on DSpace, keep abreast of the updated syllabus, and I'll make sure that it's up to the minute. What's that? Is there a question? Okay, cool. Okay, what else? Oh, when are you responsible for the readings? People are curious, when do I need to get these readings done by? You need to get the readings done by the Tuesday of that week. Obviously, that doesn't apply this week because you didn't even know the readings were on Tuesday, but starting next week, you're responsible for those readings at the beginning of the week. So please do them over the weekend or on Monday or very early Tuesday morning, whatever. There'll be quizzes that enforce that you're doing the readings. I want to also emphasize, again, you need to do the article readings. It's really important. I mean, this is, obviously, I mean that, or I obviously intend that because I put it on the syllabus, but I want to reaffirm that one of the differences between people who do well in the class and people who kick ass in the class is did they do the article readings in addition to the book readings. So it's very important that you do these article readings. This microphone is really driving me crazy. Okay, what else? Okay, that sounds good. Yeah. Wow. All right. The voice of God. Okay, so today we're going to start. Hey, what's up? Well, that's to be read for this week. So the reading for this week from Summer Camps to Glass Ceilings by Lavalia is supposed to be read for this week, but you're not responsible for it by Tuesday. Just read it sometime this week. And then read the readings for next week, by next Tuesday, and so on. Also, because I didn't mention as well, we're going to watch a couple films in this class. These films are, have you ever seen Cool Hand Luke? Who's ever seen Cool Hand Luke? Okay, cool. So I love this movie. I think it has a lot to say about obedience to authority and conformity. Features the unfortunately late Paul Newman. May he rest in peace. It's a kick-ass movie. I think you'll really like it. And then you'll write an essay about it and how it relates to conformity and obedience material from the class. And the second movie you'll watch is The Grand Illusion, which is one of those like fancy pants, black and white French films from the 1930s with subtitles. I know, calm down. I know you're getting very, very excited. Who's seen that? Is anybody really raising? Okay, a couple people. Good. Okay, I love this movie. I think it's a really great movie. I think it illustrates social identity theory and intergroup conflict really well, and so that's why I assigned it. So that, I think you'll actually enjoy watching that movie. My experience last year was people really liked it. They didn't think they would, and then they really did. So are there any other organizational issues, or can we get going? Yes, sir. I don't think so. That was my screw up. Sorry about that. So I ordered the most. You can't even order the old edition, but I didn't update the syllabus to say 5th edition. So that's why that happened. I ordered the 5th edition, but didn't change the syllabus. It's one of the many reasons the syllabus is in flux and whatnot. So yeah. So hopefully there's no difference. That's honest. That's a very honest answer. Yeah. So let's get the 5th edition. 5th edition is the one I'd really like you to get. If you could use copy of the 4th edition, I think that'll be fine. Though. I think all the chapters are the same. Other questions? Okay, all right, we'll get going. All right, so the main methodology that people use in social psychology research is experimental methods. So who here has learned about experimental methods in a social science class before? Okay, was it like Social 5 that you learned about it in? Okay, right on. So we're going to learn a little bit more about experiments and sort of my take on how they work. Okay, so let's start with some simple just background concepts. A variable. What is a variable? Any characteristic or attribute that varies. I think that's not how you're supposed to define things, but I did it anyway. So for example, gender, income, etc. And there's 2 kinds of variables, right? Independent variables and dependent variables. What are independent variables? Independent variables are hypothesized to cause some sort of variance in a dependent variable. So for example, we might think, and there's a dependent variable, also known as an outcome variable. These are hypothesized to right. Okay. The hypothesized effective variation in an independent variable affects a dependent variable. So independent variables, for example, could be gender. Gender, we think, has an effect on income because there's a gender wage gap in this country. That means gender varies, obviously. There are men, there are women, and it has an effect on income in our society due to whatever intervening processes. So this is an example of an independent variable having an effect on a dependent variable. They co-vary. There's a correlation between them. Extraneous variables are variables that are not explicitly included in a hypothesis, but could have some causal impact on a dependent variable. Now, why am I giving you these terms? Because the basic logic of an experiment is to carefully manipulate an independent variable at various levels in order to see what its effect is on the dependent variable while controlling for all extraneous variables, trying to hold them constant. And that's the power of experiments, is that they're uniquely well designed to control for extraneous variables. It's very hard to control for extraneous variables with other methods. Experiments makes it a lot easier. We'll talk about that some more. Okay, so what's an experiment? An experiment is a research study in which participants are randomly assigned to conditions which are identical except with respect to some variable being manipulated at different levels. So in an experiment, we take a bunch of people and then we randomly throw them into one condition or another, and these conditions are identical except the independent variable is manipulated. All the extraneous variables are controlled. Why do we do this? Because we then want to look at some dependent variable or set of dependent variables and see what effect that difference had. I'll give you some more. Here's a different way to define experiments. You manipulate the independent variable in order to observe effects on the dependent variable while trying to hold constant all extraneous variables. So these definitions in the abstract can be kind of confusing. So what are some examples? Well, probably the most often used and maybe the easiest to understand example of experimental methods is medical research. And what do they do in medical research? When they want to test the effects of some medicine. So say you have some drug that you think will cure cancer or something like that. I wish we had it, but we don't. So but say you have this, right? Then what do when you design the test? You give people, you take a group of subjects and you randomly assign them to either get the pill or get what? What's the alternative? the placebo. And the placebo is designed to be identical to the medicine, except inside the pill there's sugar instead of the medicine. And why do they do that? Because they want to control as carefully as possible everything except just what's inside the pill. And medical research, in a way, is really the ideal example of experimental methods because they do this very, very nice job of making sure that every other variable is controlled except just what's in the pill. And when they do them as carefully as possible, the nurse or research assistant that administers the medicine or the placebo doesn't even know what they're administering. So literally, the only difference is just did you get the medicine or did you get some sugar? And this is a really well-designed study, right? You can imagine, what if we didn't, another classic feature is the random assignment, right? We take a group of people and randomly they get the placebo or not. Now, a lot of people are like, wait, why do they do this random assignment thing? This doesn't seem to make sense. But the random assignment is to control for all these extraneous variables. What if we assign people based on some other feature, not randomly, instead gender? Let's say we gave all the men the medicine and all the women the placebo or something. Then we go to the end of the study and we say, how did that medicine affect these people's pre-existing cancer or something like that? And we'll be confused because we won't know if the effect was due to the medicine or the fact that the gender was confounded with that manipulation, right? So that's why we randomly assign people to conditions. It's because we want there to be about equal proportions of men and women in each condition. Okay. Here's another example, some research that I did for my master's thesis. When I was a graduate student and I went to go do a master's thesis, I was trying to think of something that would be interesting to me and somehow be informed by my everyday life. And so I did an experiment on whether or not the status of an author affects the way that his or her text is evaluated. So I don't know if you had this experience of sitting in like a philosophy class or an English class and being told that this stuff that you're reading is brilliant and you don't understand it. And this was my experience. I was in an intro to philosophy class and we had to read like Heidegger or something this one weekend. And I came into class much like you are here. And we sat around the small class and we were all like, wow, whew, geez, wow. And I was like, man, good Lord, what happened? What was that? And they were like, I know. and they were like, that was great. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? That was unintelligible. I didn't understand any of it. And we'd all walked in, we'd all read the same text, but they'd come away being like, that was some deep shit. That Heidegger guy, I love that guy. He is brilliant. And I had the exact opposite reaction. But I suspected that they didn't understand any more than I did. And you probably had situations where you suspected the same thing. Where you're listening to like really avant-garde jazz or something, and it is noise. It is literally people slamming cymbals against toilets and like, and you're supposed to get it, but you don't get it, And you look around, everybody else is like, oh, this is good. This is so good. So deep, And you think, wait a minute, maybe the Emperor's naked, maybe I'm right, and they're bullshitting. So that's what I want to do an experiment on. I want to do an experiment. My suspicion was everybody likes Heidegger, and everything Heidegger's really deep because they think they're supposed to, and Heidegger's really famous. I don't know if he's famous enough for you to all have heard of him, but he's famous in certain extremely dorky circles. So I wanted to do this experiment. So what I did was I took an unintelligible academic text, and I got a bunch of undergraduates, such as yourselves, and I was like 23 at the time, so I was recently undergraduate. They were much like me, and much like these people who tortured me in my intro philosophy class. And I randomly gave them the same text, either saying that the author was another undergraduate, this very like high-level academic unintelligible text, or a Harvard philosophy professor, MacArthur Genius Grant recipient, like maybe the smartest person in the world. And saw if that would affect the way that they evaluated the article. And I control for everything else, right? Everybody gets the same text. I'm randomly assigning people to get one, be told that the author's either the Harvard professor or the undergraduate. Everything else is controlled. Everything else is constant across the conditions. And what I found was, as you would predict probably, people rated the text as being better and making more sense if it was a Harvard professor that was attached to it as the author. And I said, haha, I knew it all the time. I knew it all along. I knew it. It was all just status. And that's why people thought these unintelligible academic texts that seem deep but actually are devoid of meaning, in my opinion. That's why they rate them so highly. So yes, that man is intellectual fraud. So some more basic terms for experiments. Some of them are using without defining, which is a big no-no. Sorry about that. Manipulation. This is the term when you turn an independent variable on or off, or put it at two or more levels. So what's the manipulation in a medical experiment? It's the placebo or the medicine. Does the person get the medicine or the placebo? Is the medicine being turned on or off? And when it's turned off, the people get placebo instead. What's the independent variable in the text study that I did? It's the status of the author. Okay, so the status of the author, he's either a Harvard philosophy professor or he's just a normal person, an undergraduate. Okay, so conditions. When you manipulate an independent variable, what you do is you create experimental conditions. Conditions are different circumstances that are created by manipulation of the variable. So what are the two conditions in the medical experiment example? There's a medicine condition and a placebo condition. And in the text experiment, the manipulation of the independent variable creates two conditions. The text is authored by a Harvard professor condition. The text is authored by an undergraduate condition. Does this make sense? Okay. Here's another bit of experimental terminology: experimental group, control group, or another way that they often refer to this is treatment group, control group. What do these refer to? These are two different kinds of conditions. What's the control condition or the control group in the medical experiment? The placebo, it's sort of a baseline condition. The treatment or experimental condition is the medicine condition because we're interested in the effect of the medicine. We're not interested in the effect of the placebo. Placebo is just there as a baseline to kind of square our analysis, and then we'll look at the effect of the medicine being added to that. What's the control condition in the text study that I was telling you about? Right, it's the undergraduate author condition because that's sort of the baseline. Like, how would you evaluate a text if it was a normal person? Or I argue that you all are normal people. And then what's the treatment condition or experimental group? The high status author condition. So that one, we're interested in the effect of a high status author on the evaluation of a text. So that's the treatment or experimental group. Okay, random assignment. I keep telling you about this random assignment stuff. This helps control for participant level factors that are hard to control for otherwise, even ones that you wouldn't think of. And I made this nifty little diagram to illustrate random assignment. If you're not impressed by this, you might as well drop the class because this is as good as I'm going to get on PowerPoint. This took hours. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is before random assignment. You have a bunch of different participants in a study, and these colors symbolize, some basis of difference, maybe gender or personality type, like extroversion or something. You have a heterogeneous group of people. They vary with respect to a variety of characteristics, not just whether they're orange, yellow, or green, but also maybe their extroversion, whatever. After random assignment, you created two groups of people, right? Two conditions. Like maybe this is the experimental group, and this one's the control group. And why would we randomly assign people? Well, we randomly assign people so that these groups are roughly the same on average. If you do random assignment, there's going to be as many greens here as there, and oranges there as here. That's what random assignment does. What if we assign on a different basis? Like we said, we'll put all the greens here, we'll put all the yellows there. Well, that would be a problem because then whatever difference we did here, like you get people medicine in this condition and sugar inside the pill in that one, it would be confounded with some other variable, like people's personality type or gender or something like that. I hope this is clear. One nice thing about random assignment is you know about some variables you want to control for, right? Like in the text thing, I really want to control for year in school, right? In the text experiment I did. Because it could be that freshmen are maybe more intimidated by these high status authors, and then when you're a senior, you get it all worked out, and you're like, you're not buying that bullshit anymore. Maybe that's the case, right? So I really want to be sure that there's an equal mix of freshmen and seniors in this condition as in this condition. That way, I know that any difference I'll observe in terms of the average rating of the text will be attributable to my manipulation of the independent variable and not to, say, their year in school. You can do an experiment where you analyze year in school, but that wasn't what I was interested in, so I want to control for it. And one of the most powerful things about random assignment is you don't even have to know all the factors that you'd be worried about. I know some of them I'm worried about. I'm worried about age, I'm worried about year in school, I'm maybe worried about gender. I don't know, gender tends to affect lots of stuff. So I know some things that I really want to control for, but I know that there's also lots of variables that probably affect people's text evaluations or evaluations of high status authors' text. I know there's all these other variables that affect that I don't even know what they are, so we haven't done that science yet, right? And so random assignment takes care of those as well. So I don't even have to know all the confounding factors because I know random assignment will take care of it for me, at least given a large enough pool of people. Question? Right, so this is another way you can assign people conditions of an experiment. You can do a sort of stratified assignment system where you say, wait, I know that orange really matters, or I know gender really matters, and I know I need to equalize that across the groups. So I'm going to structure my assignment to conditions to equalize that. I'm not going to trust random assignment because this variable is so important. And every once in a while, medical experiments, they'll do that. My sister runs like large-scale medical experiments, and she thinks it's crazy that we trust random assignment as much as we do. She's like, what if random assignment, random stuff, can lead to like 80% females here and 20% females there, and then that's a big problem because you don't know if maybe it's gender that throws something. So if you have a variable you're really worried about, sometimes you'll not just trust random assignment, you'll rig it so that that's controlled. It's an excellent question. Right, so random assignment can fail, right? Like random weird stuff happens with random assignment. Like here, I've created like perfect random assignment, right? Where random assignment created equal yellows and oranges and greens over here is over there. But in reality, it's not going to work perfectly, especially with just an n of 10, which is 10 participants. So how do you address this? The biggest thing is make sure you have more than 10 participants. If you have, as it goes up and up and up and up, the odds that random assignment's going to get really out of whack go down, okay? With a group of 10, the odds that maybe these people will be way more extroverted than those people are pretty high, or vice versa, But if we get up to an n of 100, like 100 participants in the study, we're not nearly as worried about it, okay? So that's the best way to address that. And you'll be reading a lot of studies where the number of people in the study is pretty low, like 75 people or 60 people, and you should be suspicious of that. You should be worried about random assignment. There's other things you can do, like you can use statistical controls. Those of you in Soc 5 probably know a little bit about statistical controls and multiple regression. So there's some kind of stuff you can do on the back end to statistically take out factors, but that's beyond the purview of this class. Other questions about this? Yes? What's that? Oh, in my study, there's like 100 people in 2 conditions. No, not 90 people in 2 conditions. And that's actually a pretty healthy amount. But to be careful, I ran statistical analyses afterwards that were like, wait, if I statistically take out all these other variables, does the result still work? And it did. So I tried to be really careful. Other questions about this? Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Okay, manipulation. So in an experiment, you must manipulate an independent variable, and that creates at least 2 conditions, and then you look at the effect on the dependent variable. One condition experiments are not real experiments. One condition studies are not real experiments. So for example, are you familiar with the Zimbardo prison experiment? Yes, okay, some of you are. They took a bunch of people, and okay, they did randomly assign them to guards or prisoners, so there's kind of random assignment there, but they put all of them in a prison, and most of the conclusions were like, here's the weird stuff that happens when you put people in a simulated prison environment. But they didn't take another group of people and like not put them in a simulated prison environment. If they want to do a careful experiment, a really rigorous experiment, that's what they would have done. So what is the Zimbardo prison experiment? It is more like a demonstration. And other ones are breaching experiments. Are you all familiar with breaching experiments? That's when you go out in the world and purposely break social norms. I'll be requiring you to do this later in the semester. I'm not joking either, I am. Breaching experiments are only, they're again experiments with pretentious little things, little rabbit ears. They're like fake experiments because they don't tend to have other conditions where people don't breach social norms. And that's important to rigorously evaluate the effect of breaching a social norm. I think a classic example of one condition demonstrations that are experiments is the baking soda volcano. How many of you have made a baking soda volcano? I have this. It's very fun. But I also want you to know that you drove my father crazy. Every year at the annual science fair, I would make some like rigorously designed physics experiment that he basically told me to do. And right, you know how this works, right? I had one of those dads. And then every year, like the baking soda volcano would get first place, and my dad would flip his lid. He would go nuts. He would be like at the judges' table, and he'd be like, "That is not a formal experiment. There's no control condition. Who the hell cares if baking soda can make a volcano?" He would go bananas annually, and it was like incredibly embarrassing. I'd be like hiding behind my physics project, and yeah. Didn't make it any better. So anyway, baking soda volcano. What do you do with baking soda volcano? You take some set of ingredients. I don't actually really remember what they are. Vinegar, modeling clay, obviously baking soda. I don't know, whatever. Actually, it's too dangerous to tell you full list of ingredients. So please God, don't make a baking soda volcano tonight. But yeah, when you put these together, some sort of explosion happens. What would make an experiment? Maybe to systematically not include vinegar and then show you can't make the baking soda volcano. It would still be a pretty ludicrous experiment though, and you don't need to make all this stuff. This is just that's pure demonstration, non-experimental stuff. That's just for aesthetics and to drive my father crazy. Okay, so what are some important considerations about experiments? Control. Control is extraordinarily important in experiments. It's the whole reason we do experiments. So you want to be asking yourself as you design an experiment or as you evaluate experiments that you're reading, are all aspects of the setting held constant besides the independent variable that's being manipulated? So again, I keep giving this example of like, what if the condition with a medicine had a much higher rate of women in it than the condition with a placebo? Then you're worried, right? You get to the end of the study and you say, hey, it looks like a medicine works, but wait, I'm not sure if maybe just women get this disease at a lower rate or they get over it faster. And why are you worried? Because your random assignment failed. You failed to control for important variables like sex/gender. Other concerns, experimental realism. How engaged and into the study is the subject? A significant criticism. Okay, so with medical studies, we don't worry about this too much, right? We think the medicine will have an effect on you regardless of whether you believe it is real or are motivated to participate in the study or whatever. But with other experiments, we would be very worried about whether or not you're taking the experience seriously, you're truly engrossed in it, you're acting naturally, and so on. So my text experiment, it could be that people got in there and they didn't so much act like they would in the real world. They didn't act like they would in their philosophy class. They were just evaluating this text and kind of following the rules and sort of saying, oh yeah, I'm supposed to say that this person, writes beautiful stuff, It could be that they just weren't that engaged. And usually this hurts your results rather than driving your results. But this is a concern. You want to be concerned about experimental realism. Mundane realism. How much is the setting like the real world? Here's another criticism of my text experiment, and many criticisms can be advanced on this experiment. It could be that evaluating a text in a lab environment is really nothing at all like sitting in a philosophy class, and I think you can easily make that argument. In which case, my argument in the paper that this experiment captures what goes on in philosophy classes and English classes is a screwed up contention. I'm getting it wrong, and in fact, there's this huge distance between those two settings. But one thing about mundane realism is that it's not always good. Sometimes we want our experimental settings to not be like the real world. We want to create artificial circumstances that allow us to study stuff that wouldn't happen normally. The Zimbardo prison experiment is one that has really high mundane realism, though it's not really an experiment. But other ones create artificial situations. So for example, are you familiar with Deepa Pager's audit study research? Or raise your hand.